Okay, everybody, let's talk about this story over here, straight out of the Matrix.
This is real. Scientists in China are actually working on a pregnancy robot. Yes, a robot that can get pregnant because you know what could possibly go wrong. So it has an artificial womb in its stomach. It's
So sloppy, Fox News. Just to give you guys some context, the robot that they're showing on screen right now is not the pregnancy robot. That is the AI-powered girlfriend robot, I want to say, that's been in the works for the last several years or months now. It's got cameras in its eyes and it can track your movements, and it's got, when you talk to it, it has expressions. Just have to throw that in there just in case anyone gets confused thinking that your pregnancy robot, it's gonna look like that hottie body there.
fed through a hose, and the plan is for it to carry a fetus for 10 months and then give birth. I mean, do we clap for the robot? Do we throw a baby shower? But here's the catch, though. No one even knows how they get a fertilized egg inside the robot or how exactly a robot is supposed to deliver.
To be honest, she seems a little scared. I mean, I feel like a lot of ladies out there are a little scared of this because they have the AI girlfriend robot that we just saw earlier, right? There are AI girlfriend chatbots. Now, if this takes off, the artificial womb, some people are saying that ladies are gonna be on a downward spiral. You know, when AI first came out, people thought that it's gonna be taking over jobs, making lives easier. It seems like we're on the path to replace women.
Engineering work is led by Dr. Zhang Qifang of Kaiwa Technology in Guangzhou. He aims to mimic pregnancy inside an artificial womb. At the 2025 World Robot Conference in Beijing, he said that artificial womb technology is already maturing.
Okay, the artificial womb idea is not a new thing. They've had it for a little while now. They did experiments back in 2017 using the biobag, which is basically, you know, an artificial womb, to do lamb fetuses.
So how does it all work? Apparently, the plan is simple. You give the robot a fertilized embryo, it carries the baby for 9 months, complete with an artificial womb and simulated hormones. The artificial womb is real, not science fiction. It works like a human uterus, using man-made amniotic fluid and tube that acts like an umbilical cord to feed the baby. A biobag provides everything the fetus needs to grow. The biobag acts like an incubator, allowing premature babies to grow in an environment similar to a womb. In 2017, scientists in the US had managed to keep premature lambs alive for weeks in similar biobags.
Okay, let's just have a quick talk about this. I mean, who knows if this is really going to happen or not? They say that they're going to have a prototype together next year. We'll see what happens. A lot of times these things get announced and, you know, people get riled up and nothing happens. But it seems like we're on the cusp of making this happen just based on, you know, what we see going on out there right now. You have this, you have gene editing, you have all the AI stuff. I mean, I saw somewhere they were talking about AI nannies, right? And I'm just thinking about how this is going to play out in most likely not my generation, maybe the next batch of kids coming up or the next batch of parents coming up. You know, you do this, you have an AI nanny, you know, they can just take care of your kid, right? I mean, you've seen footage already of like the Tesla bots or the bots that can do like household chores. It feels like we're moving towards like the Jetsons. You know how the boy was basically raised by the robot and then the parents did whatever. It seems like we're moving towards that where you're gonna have a kid, and honestly, if you have a lot of money, you can skip full sections of this kid's life if you really think about it. Like, think about it. Okay, you have this pregnancy bot birth out the kid, right? Then you have the AI nanny, right? They can raise it, take care of it for the first few months or so, and then You send it off to some boarding school class or whatever, right? And then you could pick up this kid. Maybe you're working and you don't want to do all that baby stuff. So let's pick them up when they're toddlers. They're like, oh, you know what? I want to skip all this toddler stuff. I want to do elementary. You just pick up your kid when you're elementary. That is a realistic outcome in the near future, that you could just pick up your kid. Again, depending on how much money you got, because nothing's free. And let's go over some other scenarios. They say this thing is going to cost around 14,000 US dollars. Currently, with the technology that we have now, basic bio, a human surrogate can run up to $60,000 or more, depending on what kind of services or, background the surrogate has. I've seen it around like 30,000 to hundreds of thousands for a surrogate. So just think about that compared to this factory style surrogacy, basically, right? That you could just boop boop and then you have a kid. Like, you're like, it's like ordering a kid, basically. See you in 9 months or whatever, and you'll have a kid. So that's most likely what they're trying to do. They're trying to influence the fertility rates. I've talked about that quite a few times, that especially in Asia or countries that are more developed, birth rates are down. Can you think about this? There's that thing they're saying that in 10, 20 years from now, there's going to be no more Japanese people if they keep these rates up. And I believe Korea's right along with them as well, that they're producing half of what they need to just sustain their population, right? They're doing less than that, so they're just dwindling down as they're going. Insane. And let's think about some other things that could be going on with this technology. I feel like a realistic possibility down the road is they're going to be using this for livestock. That's a possibility, right? They no longer that you need to do the whole stud thing or whatever, right? Insemination. Like, you just boop boop, plug it in, and then you wait 6 months or so and you're gonna get a new calf, right? And then you take that a little bit further. Why even bother having the calf? You just make slop, some sort of, if you've seen Rick and Morty, where they do kind of like the mosh posh person or whatever, right? I feel like down the road that's a possibility. You make one of those, just a cow, chicken, piglet, right, out of a bag, and then you just slaughter it, or not even have to slaughter it. It just comes out and it's just automatically slop, and then they turn that into burgers. I bet you that there's some McDonald's executive out there right now looking at this, thinking about it real quick, and go, hey, you know what? The next McBurger chicken Bob can be made right away. Like, it would just, what? The next McBurger chicken McRibbon can come out and it's already in burger form, right? And a quick side note before we end this video. I find it very interesting that we're in this time period right now with artificial intelligence, just AI going through everything and just changing the whole world. And I think about the Amish. Like, I wonder what they think how the world is going right now, because at least when I was growing up, right, we already thought the Amish were so far behind, with their buggies and whatnot. And, we had full-on cars, and then the iPhone came out, or just smartphones came out, and they're still using an abacus. Well, you can have all of technology and mankind in your fingertips while they're just abacusing through. And I'm just thinking about later on when we are test tube babies with VR sets, and there's a whole population in Pennsylvania somewhere still on the buggy, wondering what are the rest of these people doing with these I don't know. All right. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.